Okay, let's get started. First thing we're going to need to do is go to www.getkahoot.com. Okay, when you get there, you're going to see a choice in purple right here. It says Get My Free Account. Click here and go set up your account. In this case, I already have an account, so I'm just going to click on Sign In and move along. Okay, once you've signed into Kahoot, this is your home page, and this is everything you're going to see for your account. If we take a quick look over everything, right here, starting in the right hand corner, this is your icon for here on this page. Right here, the next is My Kahoot. You click on that, and it takes you to the page where the Kahoots that you create are stored. Next thing is Public Kahoots. What this does, it moves you to another page that will show you every single Kahoot that has ever been made. This is searchable, and you can use other teachers' work. All the ones that are out there that show as public are yours to use. Simply click on inside the box, put in the title, subject, or tag, or username if you happen to know the person that made it. Select your type of audience. In your case, you'll choose school, or if you're doing an in-service after school, you might choose training if you use this with teachers. And then you can choose whether you're looking for a quiz, a discussion, or a survey. And then you click on search and it will bring it up. Also, you will see they have choices about all, most plays, most players, most favorited stuff, and the most shares. So that can help you narrow your searches if you want to go looking through those too. Okay, next thing we have across top is frequently asked questions. You click on that, opens up a new page, brings up this. If your ITRT is not around and you're having problems in Kahoot and your ITRT can't get to you because they're at another school, you can go right here. You can type in a question and see if you can find information on how it works. Say you don't know if Kahoot will work with iOS or Android, you could put that in as a search, and it just so happens that right here has this. You click on that and it'll tell you, and in this case I'll go ahead and tell you yes, it works with iOS and Android. Okay, if we go ahead and X out of this, you'll also see support. What this does is it opens up a box. This text box allows you to have a conversation with somebody on Kahoot on the other end. So if you have a question, you can't find it in the FAQ and you need somebody to talk to, or something's not working or not looking right, you can go straight here, type in your message. If you want to, you can attach a screenshot of a problem, click next, send it to them, and somebody will get back to you, and it's like the live chat on Interactive Achievement. You can go right in there and talk back and forth with them, and they can walk you through. Okay, that's just a quick view of this right here. Over here, this is just for your account, where you can go into your profile and edit your profile, your email preferences, results, change your password, delete your account if you decide you don't want anything to do with this. I do advise, for the company's sake, that they do this for free, and it becomes hard to manage data if they have lots of accounts that aren't used. So if you get into this and you don't like it, please delete your account for them. Now, let's come over here and click on New Kahoot, and it takes us back home. You also see over here your statistics. This just tells you how many Kahoots you have created, how many questions have been asked in them, how many times they've been played, how many players. My recent results tells when it was last used, starting at most recent and then going to the bottom, which would be the first time. The community, I strongly advise if you start using this, to get in there and look at their tips blog, join their Facebook community. If you like to Twitter, you can get on and share experiences on Twitter through there. And if you have ideas or things that you come up with when you're working with this, they would love to hear from you. Right here, this is challenges for students, where you can go in and it talks about different pedagogy of using this with students. It also has case studies of how it has worked with students and stories from Twitter. Now, let's go ahead and get straight into what's important. let's take a look at how to create a quiz. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at this. First question, we added a picture. Let's look at another question, and this one we're going to add a video. To add a video, simply click right here on video, and this will move you over. Go ahead and enter your question in. I've already done that. What are the parts of an atom? I've put in my answers. Nucleus, electrons, protons, and then put in hyperbolic reflex. I've got 3 correct answers, 1 wrong. Now let's find a video that would work with this. The videos that are supported are only YouTube videos at this time. So what you do is go ahead and have a video chosen. I so happen to have this one right here that we're going to use. Get the URL. Go back. Paste that in. Now one thing about using video, make sure that you preview the video that you're going to use. That way you can take and put in the start and stop point, because a lot of times in a video you're not going to show the whole 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes for a question. You might just be showing 30 seconds, maybe 3 out of 5 minutes, maybe 5 minutes out of an hour long, out of a 30-minute show. It's going to depend on you. Now one thing is at this time Kahoot only works using seconds. So what you'll have to do is figure out what seconds, how many seconds you're going to show and where it's going to show from. Start at wherever seconds. So if we go ahead and we move in here, and let's say we're going to start at 40 seconds. And then we are going to end 60 seconds later. Let's take let's say 3 minutes. So 180 seconds later. And after you've got that in there, we'll go ahead and we'll add another question. Okay, so that one's through. One thing I hadn't mentioned or shown while I was doing this is up here at the top. You've got bold, italics, superscript, subscript, and your math symbols that you can add into your questions. Another thing I'd like to point out that I didn't before is you can also make your question worth points or no points. So as the game goes on, when the kids are playing this, answering the questions with you in class, you can have it set where it's just review and there's no competition and there's no points involved. Another thing is you can set how long the students have on the timer. The default is 20 seconds. You can modify it up or down. Okay, after you're through building up all your questions and adding anything that you want to, you're going to click on Save and Continue. And up right here, perfect example, it's telling me that a question cannot be left blank, basically. So what I can go back and do, let's look at this. I'm just going to delete this question so we can move on. Save and Continue. At this point, you can reorder by drag and dropping if you had more questions, so that way you can mix it up. Or if you made a question out of sequence that you might have forgotten, you can fix it the way you want to. After this, click on Save and Continue. At this point, what it's going to do is let you set the English that's going to be in, what setting you want to have. You can set your tests or your quiz, your Kahoots, I should say, at either a private or public setting. Private, no one else can see it, only you. Public, anyone can see it. And you can also tell the primary audience. And what you're beginning to do at this point right here is you are using tags so that if a person is searching it out, they can do this. Right here you have descriptions. You can enter in what it's about, atoms, science, things that really relate to this. And after you go through that, put those in, you can choose your difficulty. It scrolls up and down. The default it comes in is medium. Save and Continue. You can add a cover picture. If not, You don't have to. One thing is it does make it look better if you have a chosen picture. So I'm going to go ahead and just throw one on there. And you're done. Now, after you're finished, one thing that you're going to want to do is you really ought to go in and preview it. If we preview, open another window, it loads up the test, sets up just like it would be in the classroom. Now, this is what the kids would see on the board. This is their cell phone. Since this is a preview, you get to play along and see what it looks like. All right. Before we launch, we want to look here, display game pin throughout, because each session that you create will have its own pin, and it will show throughout, or it doesn't have to. I've got turned off right now. Show minimize lobby instructions. Turn that on, so we just look at that. Randomize order of questions. Leave that off. It's up to you. And like I said, all this is up to you. And you have your advanced options, which you can look at right here. All right. To begin any quiz, you'll click launch. Get ready to join. It's going to give us a game pin. Our game pin is right here. We enter the game pin on phone or tablet or whatever they're using. They'll type in. They'll click enter. At this point, they've got to put in a nickname. What you can take and do is have the students use their real names and join the game, because if they use the real names, it will automatically create data for you, so you can keep a record of what the students have answered, and it will also score them like it was a quiz. So you can use this in place of a regular pen and paper quiz or something like that, something that's more engaging and interactive with your students. All right, let's go ahead and start it. Now remember, everything that shows over here is what shows on the teachers and on the students would see on the board, whether it's a smart board or a smart TV that you're hooked to. Once the test comes up, they're going to see this. What is an atom made of? They go put their answers in here. Electrons, neutrons. So if they clicked on either one of those, they got it right. Shows a quick graph of how many people selected what. Moving along, next question. Gave points for it. What are the parts of an atom? And it brings up the video, and it starts right there where you had it selected. I've got my sound muted right now so that you wouldn't have anything coming back off the speakers. Then they would answer the question after the video finished. Oh, sorry, you got to click on your phone just like they would. I got one of the possible 3 correct answers as first person, so I get a lot of points. One thing about this is it goes through, and students playing, the faster you get it in, the more points you get. And at the end of it, it would show the scoreboard, who's the where, and then end, and it tells who the winner was. It gives a chance for the students to give feedback. So, and it's instantaneous. How much fun was it? Did you learn something? And do you recommend it? And as you can see, it all shows right there. Final results. And here it goes. You also see right here the ratings where it was rated. Download results. If you download the results as the teacher, what this will do is let you have all the results from any quiz, or excuse me, Kahoot, in your folders so that you can use it. Since we are a Google school system now, you have your Google Drive. You can have it automatically setting your results there every time you give one. To do that, simply click on this, and it pulled it. And I messed up a little, but I'll go ahead and say what happened is I clicked on it, it downloaded results for me straight to my computer right here. If I wanted to download it straight to my Google Drive, all I've got to do is click on that, tell it save, sign in, it's going to go through and find out, and it's going to save a copy there. And tells it everything was saved there. And that's it. Mark favorites. Now you can play this again. Play again ghost mode. Ghost mode is really cool. What it is that person plays against himself and the previous people that were there. They don't play against the people that are currently on. So it allows the students to go against themselves, pretty much. Use the game pen for them to do it. And it works the same way. So I'm going to go ahead and go back. And it also gives you the option to play a different Kahoot, so that they can go in and you look at your stuff and choose which one you want to throw back out again, or if you want to search out a new one. So if you had more than one Kahoot designed for something, like say you're doing science, you want to go from working on atoms to working on elements, you can take a move right from one to the other. And that's all there is for that part. First thing we made was Kahoot quiz. As for the other things in here, the discussion and survey, they work exactly the same as building this. It's just your answer selections are a little bit different, as in they don't have any skill points or anything like that. And that's it. Kahoot's really simple once you get in there to use it. I highly recommend it as a replacement for student response systems. If you have any questions, please contact your school IT or teacher. Thank you and have a great day.